Nobody wants your financial plan. I know that hurts, but it's the truth. Your clients are not buying what you think they're buying. There is a difference between what you sell and what they actually pay for. And I'm gonna break down perceived versus intrinsic value and show you how to position your services so clients say yes before you ever get to the close. Here's a question I want you to sit with. When was the last time a client called you and said, hey, I really need a comprehensive financial plan? Not a referral, not someone your COI sent. I'm talking about a prospect who woke up cold one morning and thought, I need a 47-page document with Monte Carlo simulations and charts. It just doesn't happen. And that's not because financial planning is invaluable. It is. It's because there's a disconnect between what we think we're selling as financial professionals and what clients are actually buying as financial consumers. And until you understand that disconnect, you will keep struggling to communicate your value, keep losing prospects to the advisor down the street, and keep wondering why people don't see what you bring to the table. Now let's define two concepts: intrinsic value and perceived value. Now, intrinsic value is the actual technical value of what you deliver: your financial plan, your asset allocation, your tax strategy, your estate plan review, the work product, the thing you were trained to build. This is real and it matters. I'm not dismissing it. Now, perceived value is what the client believes they're getting. It's the feeling, it's the outcome, it's the transformation. It's not the plan itself, it's what the plan represents to them. Here's the simplest way I can explain it. Nobody walks into a hardware store because they want a drill. They want a hole in the wall. The drill is just the tool that gets them there. Your financial plan is the drill. What they're paying for is the hole. And the hole looks different for every client. For some, it's, I want to retire at 58 and no, I won't ever run out of money. For others, it's just, I want to stop fighting with my spouse about finances. For others, it's, I want to know that my kids are going to be taken care of if something happens to me. You get my point. That's perceived value, and that is what they're buying. So why do most financial advisors lead with intrinsic value? Because that's what we were trained to do. We were trained to do this. Think about it. You studied for years. You passed your exams. You got your CFP, your CFA, your CHFC, whatever the alphabet soup is behind your name. And all of that training focused on what? The solution. How to build a plan. How to allocate assets. How to run projections. Nobody taught you how to sell the feeling. Nobody taught you how to position the outcome. Nobody taught you that the person sitting across from you doesn't really care about the process or your process. They care about their problem going away. And so what happens? You walk into a prospect meeting and you lead with your process. Here's how we do financial planning. Here's our 6-step process. Here's what our comprehensive plan includes. And you think people are gonna get excited about that. And the client's eyes just glaze over because you just showed them the drill when all they wanted was the hole. I see this constantly. Advisors who are incredible at their craft, very competent, but can't communicate their value because they're speaking a language their clients don't speak. So, how do you flip this? 3 moves. Move number 1, lead with the problem, not the solution. Now, when you're talking to a prospect, your first job is to make them feel understood, not impressed, understood. That means before you ever talk about what you do, you describe what they're going through. You've been making good money for 15 years, but you still don't feel confident about retirement. Is that right? You know, you should be doing more with your money, but you don't know where to start. Does that seem correct? See, these are phrases that lead them to the solution that you offer. When they begin to hear their problem described back to them accurately, trust goes through the roof. Move number 2, sell the destination, not the vehicle. Stop talking about financial plans, asset allocation models, and tax optimization. Start talking about what life looks like on the other side of those things being implemented. Imagine knowing exactly when you can retire, down to the month. Imagine never having another argument about money with your partner. Imagine your kids being fully funded for college without you touching your retirement. See, these are the things that take them to that destination. That's the destination they want. Your plan is just the vehicle that gets them there. Now, real quick, before I get to move 3, if you're watching this video and thinking, okay, Don, I get it. Lead with the problem, sell the destination. But how do I actually figure out the right way to do this for my practice. I want to help you with that. I created the Advisor Archetype Assessment. It takes 5 minutes to complete, and it's going to tell you which of the 6 advisor archetypes you are, so you know exactly how to lead with perceived value in a way that's natural to you. Because the way a relationship-driven advisor positions is completely different from a systems-driven advisor. The link is in the description. Go take it. But for now, let's get back to the episode. Now for move 3. Let the plan be the proof, not the pitch. Here's a beautiful part. When you lead with the problem and sell the destination, the plan becomes a credibility piece. It's what validates everything you just said. And here's exactly how we're going to get you there, right? You can say something like that. The plan has context now. Now it means something. Now it's not just a document with charts and graphs that nobody reads, by the way. It's a paperweight. You want it to be the roadmap to the life they just described. Now let me tell you how I learned this the hard way. When I first started my practice, I didn't build this exact way. I built very beautiful plans, comprehensive, detailed, every scenario modeled out, and I would walk prospects through the whole thing. Here's your current situation, here's the gap, here's the plan, here's the projections. And you know what happened? Some people signed on, but a lot of people said, let me think about it. And they never came back. I couldn't figure it out. The plan was solid, the math was right, the strategy made sense. So what was the problem? Well, the problem was me. And I remember this coming very crystal clear to me on the birthday of one of my clients. He stepped into the room. He had hardly ever attended any meetings, and I had done all the work primarily with his wife. And he came in on his birthday right before visiting or going to a baseball game. And what he said is, Dominique, I just want to let you know that the work you've done with my wife and I have been so crucial. I've seen her change. I've seen the anxiety lift. I've seen the stress lift. And I just want to come in here and tell you thank you. And then he left. It was just that. After that, I changed things. It was the moment that things kind of clicked for me. I started to start conversations with, tell me what keeps you up at night about your money, or what would be things that you would do if money wasn't an object, instead of let me show you what I can do. Everything changed for me. Closure rates went up, referrals went up, and honestly, the plans got better too because I was building them around real problems instead of assumptions. That's the shift from leading with the solution to leading with the problem. It's the single biggest thing I changed in my practice, and it's why I'm sitting here talking to you right now. So here's the bottom line. Your financial plan is valuable. Your expertise, it's valuable. I'm not saying throw those things away. I'm saying stop leading with those things. Lead with empathy. Lead with their problem. Sell the destination, and let your plan be the proof that you can get them there. When you do that, you stop competing on price, my friend. You stop competing on credentials and you start winning on connection. Now, here's the thing. How you lead with perceived value is going to depend on what kind of advisor you are. Not every advisor positions the same way. Not every practice attracts the same type of client. So I built something for you to figure that all out, and it's called the Advisor Archetype Assessment. It's free, and it takes about 5 minutes, and it's going to tell you which of the 6 advisor archetypes you are, so you can know exactly how to leverage perceived value in a way that's authentic to your practice. Click the link in the description and take it right now. If this video hit home, drop a comment below and tell me, what do you lead with in your prospect meetings? The plan or the problem? I want to know, and if you're not subscribed yet, fix that. Subscribe right now, and I'll see you in the next video.